Hey everyone, it's Cass on Transform Your Life, and in this video I'm going to be doing a continuation of the last video where I am addressing some of the complaints that men in our society are expressing when it comes to the quote-unquote modern woman. I'm going to continue addressing some of the I would call it definitely complaints that men are expressing when it comes to the modern woman. And in order to really illustrate what I am going to be talking about, I want to start off by reading a quote from Ben Shapiro. I'm going to quote him. I'm going to share some of the things he shared in a YouTube short that's called Teach Men to Act Like Gentlemen. And he is talking about how he says it, fighting. He uses the term fighting, sexual harassment and sexual assault. So he says, at the end of the video, this is at the end of the YouTube short, he says, the teaching men not to rape routine is such a weird concept. When I was 11, my dad didn't sit me down and say, son, don't rape people. If you have to teach your child not to rape people, my guess is that you have a bigger problem than that on your hands. And then the audience laughs. What my dad taught me was to be a gentleman and to treat women with respect. So I'm starting off with this quote from Ben Shapiro because it so strongly illustrates the complete and utter bypass of the entire spectrum, the conglomerate of ways. And in this video I'm going to be talking about men. I'm going to be talking about the patriarchy, how men in our patriarchal society can sexually violate a woman. So when Ben Shapiro says, when I was 11, my dad didn't sit me down and say, son, don't rape people. So to Ben Shapiro, I want to tell you why your dad didn't sit you down and tell you not to rape people as a young child, because society in general has, and especially men, have only been acknowledging rape and sexual violence as a black and white issue. Men in general don't acknowledge their character disturbance when it comes to their sense of entitlement towards women and their bodies, because historically speaking, when you go back over time, starting from the beginning, men saw women as objects to commodify and to own. So if you start off a civilization on the foundation of a man looking at a woman as something to own, to control, to be entitled to, you will see her that way in every arena. You will see her as something you are entitled to in the sexual department, which leads to rape, to sexual assault, and sexual violations in many forms, which leads to women in relationships and marriages energetically resisting and withdrawing her sexual energy when it comes to having sexual relations, healthy sexual relations with her male partner on a regular, because you guys, all of you, created and spoke into existence the modern woman and how she is showing up in many different ways. Either she's saying, I'm good with sex, I don't want it, I don't need it, in a relationship, in a marriage, in her singlehood, and she's withdrawing and retracting her sexual energy. Why? Because the man is not showing up from a balanced space where he exercises righteous dominion versus character disturbance. He inflicts character disturbance and his sense of entitlement onto the woman and violates a woman sexually in many different ways. This is happening on a regular basis. This is what women are referring to, one of the aspects of the patriarchy that is still going on today, where women are constantly molested, sexually violated in many different ways. Rape and sexual assault are not black and white issues. So, if she's not retracting, if the woman is not retracting and withdrawing her sexual energy because she went off onto that side of the spectrum as a trauma response, she will go to the other side of the spectrum where she is commodifying herself, sexually exploiting herself because men entrained her to be a sexual object. For instance, to be a sexual object on the gram, or to sell her body because she was entrained, going all the way back to be and see herself as a sexual object. Again, Ben Shapiro says, if you have to teach your child not to rape people, my guess is that you have a bigger problem than that on your hands. And I'm here to tell Ben Shapiro, no, this is actually the biggest problem we have on our hands, because it's our sexual energy, and the exchange of healthy sexual energy is the most important energy on this planet. It is our creative energy. It's our energy that can be utilized to heal, and it's our energy, it is the energy that we use to manifest anything we desire to have in life. It is the energy that connects us and allows us to create positivity and healing in this life. And so because men are looking at sexual violence as a black and white, they are looking at it through a lens of black and white instead of understanding all the ways they show up from a energetic space that creates a space that feels unsafe to women, that repels the woman, that continues to violate the woman. They are creating more and more separation between men and women. They're not doing the work to create repair and healing with the women in their lives, to create healing sexual interaction, to create healing sexual relation. So because men over time have objectified, commodified, and looked at women as sexual objects, what you are experiencing in your sexual arena is something you brought into existence by your actions and the way you're showing up with women. And when you're able to come into balance and shift that energy, a woman will be drawn to having sexual relations with you on a regular basis, when you create the safe space that is one of trust and repair for her to do so. When you stop objectifying women and only glorifying their sexuality and their looks as the most important, a woman will bring more to the table for you than just that. And I'm being guided to leave it right here for this video, because I could keep going, but I'm going to let this, I want to allow everyone to process what I'm saying thus far, and I will continue in the next video.